Yo, what is up, my dudes? I am back again with another Genshin Impact video, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. So before we actually get into the complete build for Keqing, I want you guys to see, some really good numbers that I managed to hit on the Valen, and just basically give you guys a mini showcase so you can see what your Keqing is capable of doing, even with just decent artifacts. You don't need crackhead artifacts. I'll show you my artifacts here after I show you the showcase, so enjoy this quick little showcase, and then I'll go through her entire physical build and how I made her so strong for a semi free-to-play player, I'll say that. So yeah, go ahead and check out this footage, and then we'll hop right into the Keqing build.
You can't hide on the dark side of the sun. You already mine. On the dark side of the sun, dark side of the sun. On the dark side of the sun, dark side of the sun. On the dark side of the sun. You pray to the dark and hope for a light. Look to the sun, can't see the shine. You lift your arms, you lift your arms to feel the dark side of the sun. Dark side of the sun. The dark side of the sun. The dark side of the sun. Light can never die on the dark side of the sun. Just a fucking lie.
Alright, so what am I using to make my Keqing hit such high numbers? Now, yes, I was using food in that footage, I know that. Even still, she can still hit really high numbers. My Keqing, just off Superconduct alone, will hit 10 to 13k, or maybe even 14, somewhere around there. But on crits, she'll hit anywhere from like 8 to like 14k. It's crazy. So let me go through her build real quick, alright? Alright, so she has 1900 attack. Now we are using Pyro Resonance, so it is going to be a little bit higher. The number's not going to be completely accurate. It's a little bit inflated, but nevertheless, still a really good number, right? Dang, Keqing's a real cutie, man. Look at that. Cutest character in the game. Just so you know that she's the best waifu in the entire game. Now I'm going to give you her build, because I feel like that's what most of you guys came here for. So 1900 attack, we have 20k HP, doesn't really matter, honestly. Her attack doesn't scale off her HP. Alright, so crit rate 71%, crit damage 190%. These are really, really good numbers. I got really lucky with some artifacts, and I'll show you why my crit damage is so higher in a minute, besides the fact that it scales with her ascensions. And then we have an 83.3% physical damage bonus. That would be a lot higher if I had a Clue Livonia, but I wasn't able to pull it. So, weapon, we are using the Black Sword. I had someone get up my butt last video because I said, oh, I'm using Black Sword, and he was like, this is free to play. Okay, well, you can always use Prototype Rancor. Said this last video, you can use Prototype Rancor, and wow, guess what? Raise your crit rate a little bit, because then you're not going to have this. It's really not that difficult. You could use Prototype Rancor. If you have Lion's Roar, you can use Lion's Roar. It has a really high base attack and attack percentage. So either of these can work. I wouldn't recommend using Flute because in the calculations, it doesn't really scale as high. But if you are free to play and you somehow have Lion's Roar, or if you just want to use Prototype Rancor, because this is completely free to play weapon, you can use that. So don't get on to me for using this, because this is probably the best weapon for Keqing. That's easy. That's somewhat easy to get. Now, obviously, I get the battle pass every season, but still. Nevertheless, this is the best weapon for Keqing for semi-free-to-play, I'll say. For the artifacts. Now, before all you Keqing simps get up my rear because I'm not using a two-piece gladiator, I'll show you why. I was using a two-piece gladiator before, and then I realized I was missing out on so much crit damage. So guys, this is what I was running before, and it's a 70% crit rate with 170% crit damage. So our attack does go up a lot, about 300. But we're losing a whole bunch of crit damage. So I honestly, in the numbers, don't compare to the other ones. These ones you'll hit, I'll still hit 10k occasionally, but it's definitely not as high as using 4-piece Bloodstain. So until I have a really, really good gladiator set, I'm gonna keep using what I've been using, because the the damage overall just is a lot higher. So let's go through her artifacts, right? This is the best artifacts that I have for her. Obviously, there's the Bloodstained. This only applies to, like, if you're fighting off Haley Turtles and stuff. So we're really only using it for the 2-piece physical damage bonus. So our artifacts, we got pretty lucky on some of these. Crit rate, crit damage, it's okay. At least this is a decent artifact. This one, we rolled crit damage and crit rate a lot, which is really good. Physical damage bonus goblet. This is mandatory for a physical damage Keqing, obviously, because it gives you a huge physical damage bonus. And we rolled crit damage on this, which was really nice. And for our helmet, we have crit damage with crit rate. So as you can see, my artifacts aren't stacked out of this world, but they are really, really nice. So we have Zero Constellation, and her talents are very, very annoying because I never get the wolf drop, and I do it every week. I never get it. Like, never. It's ridiculous. So her talents are looking subpar, I would say. But overall, she's a really strong unit as a physical damage dealer, and she's very viable. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way of using Keqing, basically ever since I started playing Genshin. I've used her for such a long time, and basically things that I've gathered that I feel like can help improve your physical damage dealing in general. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Alright guys, and here it is for our party setup. As you can see by my levels, you don't need to have everybody leveled up. I mean, obviously, if you have a leveled up Bennett, that would be nice. We're using Keqing and Kaya. Obviously, this is the strongest elemental reaction for a physical build in general, is Super Conduct. And this reduces their physical resistance. We're using Bennett for heals, and in case we ever need to apply Pyro, which is also really nice. And Xinyan. Now, Xinyan, I've decided to throw in this build. If you can get Xinyan Ascended, Sweeping Fever, character shielded by Sweeping Fever deal 15% increased physical damage. Now, I don't have her up that high, but the reason why I am using her is because if you have her C4, Sweeping Fever Swing decreases opponent's physical resistance by 15% for 12 seconds. So that is 12 seconds. That lasts just as long as Super Conduct. And I found out that if you can get your timing right, you can actually maximize your damage using this. Even if it's just for a couple hits, it's still a hot swap, and then you can lay on the damage with Keqing. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean with this build specifically, and then I'll just go off if you're just using a normal build. So what you're going to do is you're going to swap to Xinyan, you're going to pop her E, Keqing E to cancel out the elemental reaction, Kaya E, then Keqing charge attack. This way you can get the double physical resistance, and then you can just lay on the big boy numbers. So basically what this is doing is, because obviously, well, with my Constellation, it decreases their physical resistance. But if you ascend her to phase 4, then you also get a physical damage bonus while shielded. So then you'll be doing even more damage with your physical damage Keqing. So this is going to kind of difficult to get down at first. So if you have Bennett's Q, you might pop that first. It's not really the end of the world if you don't have it. Like, I just did it because that was a boss, and I wanted to, you know, give you guys DPS showcase basically. So what you're going to do with Xinyan, if you have her C4 or send it up to phase 4, if you don't have her built, I don't really recommend going out of your way to build her. In this build, I am going to be using her a lot because she helps out with the physical damage a little bit. So the full combo will look like this in full motion, right? So you go E, Keqing E, Kaya E, Cryo, Keqing, charge attack. And then you're going to go in and you're going to do your charge attack, charge attack, charge attack. Charge attack, light, light, light. E, Kaya, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 light attacks, and then same thing. You obviously don't have to keep this rotation up 24/7 if you're going into a fight to begin with. It is going to kind of be hard to remember. Buff your damage if you're going up against the boss, or if you're just going into a battle for the first time and you just want to get that rotation down. Once you master it, you can obviously flick through it a lot faster and keep Xinyan your rotation. But if not, Kaya and Keqing is just sufficient. If you don't not using Xinyan, the best combo for Keqing is just with Kaya. Now it honestly depends. I would say that if you have your Q up to go Kaya, Keqing E, Q, and then charge attack to get the additional crit rate. If you're off your Q and you don't have it, I recommend going Keqing E, Kaya E, Keqing, charge attack, charge attack, charge attack, charge attack, light, 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 E, E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. This is the way you're going to be able to maximize your damage and keep your stamina up at the same time. So you're never going to be dropping below, like, I would say 40% stamina. It's really nice to keep your stamina up with Keqing because I just see a lot of people hold down. But the best way to get your DPS in is to E and then Q if you have it, and then E again, and then 4 charge attacks, right? And then your E's back, or four charge attacks and then 3 light attacks. Sorry. So you're gonna be going 1, 2, 3, 4. Your E's back, Kaya. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. E, Kaya. So that's gonna be your rotation if you're not using Xingyan in this build, which honestly will be a lot quicker to learn and a lot quicker to master than to just get that Xingyan. Now obviously this build, I mean with Keqing and Kaya, you're going to be getting higher DPS. If you want like a higher DPS showcase or a higher damage, just numbers in general, higher crits, then you're going to want to lower their resistance and buff your physical damage with Xingyan first. But anyways guys, that pretty much wraps it up in today's video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna be back on the upload grind. We finally figured out everything and I'm back, and I'm glad to be back guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.